Hello everyone, my name is Muon and welcome to my 3 peas in a pod crochet tutorial. These peas have 3 different faces and 3 different personalities. They're also just super satisfying to pop in and out of their pod. Now let's get into it. We're going to start off by making a magic circle. Into that circle, put 6 single crochets. Now you're going to tighten everything up by pulling on the tail end. In each of the 6 stitches of this round, put 2 single crochets together to reach a total of 12 stitches. Make 1 individual single crochet in the first stitch, then put 2 single crochets together in the second stitch. Repeat this unit of 3 6 times so that you have 18 stitches by the end of the round. Now you're going to make 3 rounds of 18 single crochet, or for the next 3 rounds, put 1 single crochet in each stitch. Starting to decrease, make 1 individual single crochet in the first stitch, then join the second and third stitch together. You're going to repeat this 6 times in total so that by the end you have 12 stitches. At this point, you can go ahead and add your stuffing. To finish closing up, start in the first stitch and join into the second stitch. You're going to do this 6 times in total so that you have 6 stitches by the end of the round. At this point, you can add a bit more stuffing if you need to. Finally, make 1 more decrease, starting in the first stitch and joining into the second stitch. Go ahead and cut your yarn. Now you can weave in your ends, making sure to seal that opening. Repeat steps 1 through 13 twice more so that you have 3 peas in total. Cut 3 pairs of eyes out of black felt. Cut 3 pairs of cheeks out of pink felt. Cut a length of black yarn and split it down the middle into 2 equal groups of strands. Use the split yarn to sew mouths onto the bodies. I have some suggestions for mouth shapes on the screen, but as always, it's up to your preference. Glue your eyes and cheeks onto the faces of your peas. We're going to start off with a slip knot. Make a chain of 3. Now you're going to rotate your work so that the first row will be worked in the back bumps of your chain. Skip the first chain from your hook because that's your turning chain and make 2 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to put 2 single crochets together in each of the 2 stitches of this row so that you have a total of 4 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Make stitches 1 and 2 together in the same stitch, then stitches 3 and 4 should be made individually, and stitches 5 and 6 should be made together in the same stitch. By the end of this row, you should have a total of 6 single crochets. Essentially, we're just increasing once at the beginning of the row and once at the end of the row. Chain 1 and turn your work. Stitches 1 and 2 should be made together as an increase, then stitches 3, 4, 5, and 6 should be made individually, and then stitches 7 and 8 should be made together as an increase. You should have a total of 8 stitches by the end of this row. Chain 1 and turn your work. Stitches 1 and 2 should be made together as an increase. Stitches 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 should be made individually, and then stitches 9 and 10 should be made together as an increase. By the end of the row, you should have a total of 10 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Stitches 1 and 2 should be made together as an increase, stitches 3 through 10 should be made individually, and stitches 11 and 12 should be made together as a second increase. By the end of the row, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For the next 3 rows, chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet 12 times. Essentially, for the next 3 rows, we're not increasing at all. Now you're going to turn your work without chaining. Going to skip the first stitch and single crochet into the second. This is your first decrease. Then make 8 individual single crochets and finish up by skipping that next stitch and single crocheting right into the very last stitch of the row so that you have a total of 10 stitches. Basically, we're decreasing once at the beginning and then again once at the end of the row by skipping a stitch instead of joining 2 together. Turn your work and don't chain. Skip your very first stitch and single crochet into the second. This is your first decrease. Then make 6 individual single crochets. Then skip that next stitch and single crochet into the very last stitch for your second decrease. By the end of the row, you should have a total of 8 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Stitches 1 and 2 should be made together as your first increase, stitches 3 through 8 are made individually, and stitches 9 through 10 should be made together as another increase. By the end of the row, you should have a total of 10 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Stitches 1 and 2 should be made together as an increase, stitches 3 through 10 should be made individually, and the stitches 11 and 12 should be made together as another increase. You should have a total of 12 stitches by the end of the row. Chain 1, turn your work and single crochet 12 for the next 3 rows. Or for the next 3 rows, just single crochet the same number of stitches. Turn your work without chaining. Skip decrease once on each end of the row to reach a total of 10 stitches. Turn your work and don't chain. Once again, we're going to skip decrease once on each end, and now we're going to reach a total of 8 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Starting to increase again, make stitches 1 and 2 together as an increase, stitches 3 through 8 are individual, and then stitches 9 and 10 are together as another increase. By the end of the row, you should have a total of 10 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Stitches 1 and 2 should be made together as an increase, stitches 3 through 10 are all individual, and then stitches 11 and 12 are together as another increase. By the end of the row, you should have a total of 12 stitches. Chain 1, turn your work and single crochet 12 times, and you're going to do this for the next 3 rows. And turn your work. Skip decrease once at the beginning of the row and then once at the end to reach a total of 10 stitches. And turn your work without chaining. Skip decrease once at the beginning and once at the end of the row to reach a total of 8 stitches. Turn your work. Skip decrease once on each end to reach a total of 6 stitches. And turn your work. Skip decrease once at the beginning of the row and then once at the end to reach a total of 4 stitches. Turn your work. And for the very last time, we're going to skip decrease once on each end to reach a total of 2 stitches. From here on out, we're going to be working in the round to outline the piece, and you should have 54 stitches in total. I'm breaking up the next round into different chunks, and each chunk is going to be treated separately so that the stitch numbers will reset per chunk. This is because the next round is a bit unorthodox, and breaking it up makes things a bit clearer. Starting off, make 5 individual single crochets and then decrease twice. Or stitches 1 through 5 of this first chunk should be made individually, then stitches 6 and 7 should be joined together to decrease, and stitches 8 and 9 should be joined together to decrease again. The next chunk is going to just repeat the previous one, so make 5 individual single crochets and then decrease twice, or stitches 1 through 5 of this chunk should be made individually, then stitches 6 and 7 should be joined, and stitches 8 and 9 should be joined. This next chunk, make 19 individual single crochets and then decrease twice. Or, stitches 1 through 19 of this chunk are made individually, then stitches 20 to 21 are joined together as a decrease, and then stitches 22 and 23 are joined together as a second decrease. For this fourth chunk, make 2 individual single crochets and then decrease twice. For our last chunk, make 9 individual single crochets. Adding all of the chunks together, we should have a grand total of 48 stitches in this round. Go ahead and make 48 slip stitches. And cut your yarn. Now you can weave in your remaining yarn, and I like to sew the ends of the pod together a bit to create a slightly more pinched effect. You're all done! Congratulations! I am so proud of everything that you've accomplished. If you like this video, why not watch another one? Or you can support the channel by checking out my Ravelry or donating to my Ko-fi. I've been Muon. I'll be wishing you all the happiness in the world. I hope you have a nice day.